Hello, and you are listening to FPcast, the podcast where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I'm Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week we're talking about...
Movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics, books, board games, and more.
Comic-Con. Oz Comic-Con. Not just any Comic-Con, it's the Australian one. For Australia. And the way you can tell is, I think, in any of those panels, because the Americans have this, American guests. For me, a lot of them have this very sort of loud, confident, Hollywoody kind of thing where they say a lot, but they're not really saying anything. It's just a lot of like totally and stuff like that, and it's all that really sort of Hollywoody canned answers kind of thing. But then the Australians in the audience, they stand up and they must sound like the most backward, confused hicks that have just wandered down from a paddock and accidentally gone in. They're like,
what was your favourite movie to make?
Oh, hi. Thanks for coming to Perth. I'm a big fan of your work. Were there any pranks that you remember on the set?
Look, it would not be a Comic-Con panel without a question about hijinks and pranks that happened on any sets that particular person was involved in.
Tomfoolery shenanigans, really, they were setting out to make mischief, these stars. I'm surprised that we had any movies or TV shows to watch. The amount of crazy pranking that was going on. So that's at least one thing I'll say for Oz Comic-Con. If I was going to try and sum it up, I'd say thanks for the pranks.
Well, the stories about the pranks.
Thanks for the stories about the pranks.
It still rhymes. It's not
still
quite
rhymes.
as snappy.
The syllable count, the rhythm, the meter, that's all out of whack.
Well, speaking of syllable count, we are quite tired. We have been at Oz Comic-Con all weekend, which would account for the fact that you missed quite a bit out of our opening little blurb there.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did I say?
You missed out Fruitless Pursuits.
I didn't mention that.
No, which is kind of...
That's quite an
important thing for the podcast.
If we were doing any sort of like branding 101 kind of course, anything like
Mentioning the name of the thing would be pretty good.
I see... You know what? This shows you how tired I am. Because you gave me a little bit of a smile and a look when I said that.
I was staring at you going, like, are we going to do this again? And you just went, oh, it's Comic-Con!
I actually thought you were kind of smiling in an encouraging way, like, because normally I'm reading it off the document, and we don't have a document today because
we are free-balling today.
We're just talking about Comic-Con, and... I thought you were actually a bit impressed with me that I did it without reading it.
No.
All right.
No. I mean, we don't want to go against trend, so no.
We're the podcast for Fruitless Pursuits. That's us. It's this kind of media savvy, which earns us that all access all areas.
That's how we earn the media passes.
That's right. So
because we are media professionals.
So look, I've just let the cat out of the bag. I'm not talking about my cats, Ridley and Driver. I'm talking about the fact that we don't have any notes. We're not going to talk about we're not going to review any films or anything like that. We haven't seen any this week.
No.
So we're still just reeling from the very intelligent discussions that are happening about Batman v Superman. Actually,
it got brought up while you ducked out during the Carl Urban panel, and it's sort of... in a roundabout way, got brought up, and I think he was just he sort of asked, "Oh, has anyone seen it?" And everyone said, "Well, yeah." And he said, "Oh, did you like it?" And people there was sort of mixed and whatever, and he started to talk about how he didn't really like it, but then he went, "Look, you know what? I don't need to kind of contribute to that." And he just went, "That's self-editing, we're stopping there."
I did catch the end of that, yeah.
Okay.
I was just looking in a shop around the corner, and I could hear him. So, look. If you're in another part of the world and you're thinking, you're talking about Oz Comic-Con, this event that happened in Perth this weekend, that's a very specific thing. I'm not, do I relate to that? Is that for me? I'm just saying that you know, I think we're going to talk about, in a way, like, yes, this event and our experience, but also sort of pop culture conventions as a whole, you know, how...
Yeah.
Because I think if you go to one anywhere around the world, they become very, very similar. And they have their pros and their cons, as it were.
Damn, Daniel!
Still got it.
Yeah.
Still got it.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, and it was a bit of a different one this year. There was a sort of a different vibe, even in the whole lead up. We talked about this before, just the idea that they didn't have a really big guest.
Yeah, and you know, no offense, New Zealand, but if your two biggest guests are Kiwis, like they're not coming far. You know?
Oh, God, no.
You know, I mean, sure, Carl Urban probably does not live in New Zealand anymore, but I feel like Lucy Lawless, yeah, she would live in Australia or New Zealand, and it's not very far for her to come.
It's like ducking down to the shops.
Absolutely.
Isn't
or
it?
Across to the West Island, as Carl Urban charmingly calls us.
Yeah. So... there was that, and there were certainly some changes on the convention floor. Like, they didn't have the big Riverside Theatre this year.
Yeah, which at first I was like, oh, it's a bit of a bummer, because I really do love shooting the cosplay parades and even the panels. The panels are usually a little bit trickier. I get stuck further towards the back.
This is for people who don't know, it's a big, beautiful auditorium that seats about 1,000 people, doesn't it?
Yeah. They have, like, you know, concerts and all those sorts of things in there. Like, it's a proper theatre. And for them not to have that, I thought that was a hell of a bummer. But it ended up not being that bad. No,
and I think with the sorts of guests they had and their realistic numbers that they were going to fill, I think it did struggle with the guests this year. There were certain people that did have lines at certain times. I mean, Carl Urban was only today, Lucy Lawless was only yesterday.
Yep.
But really, when you went up, like, there were no... I've been to conventions where you have to line up for an hour to get just the token to go and meet the person, and then line up for another hour and a half, 2 hours. You really had no trouble getting through to people.
No,
there were not very many big lines at all this time around. Yeah,
I mean, obviously the biggest lines were Carl Urban and Lucy Lawless, because their time was so restricted. But even I sometimes, like, say with like John Barrowman at Supernova, I had to line up for... I was probably lining up for about 2 hours, because he sort of had to go on a break, and not a break, but had to go and have photo sessions done during that time. So I just had to wait there. I just had to line up, stuck it out, and just wait there. But Carl Urban, like, he was coming back at 1 o'clock to sign. I came back at, I don't know, 1:45, lined up, and was out of there within about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, that's unheard of for the main draw guest. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Like, you look at the people they had. For people who don't know who were there were some Teen Wolf guys.
Cody Christian and Max Carver, who I believe is a twin.
Needless to say, there is only one Teen Wolf that I will acknowledge as being a wolf in his teens. Actually, no, you know what? I'm gonna go back on that straight away. Is that all right? I'm just gonna back back. I'm gonna even allow two. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah. So Michael J. Fox,
yes,
he's always going to be the wolf.
Yep.
To me, you cannot fake the funk on a nasty duck. A hairy dunk in his case. Yeah. Basketballer. And then I was going to say that's it. And then I realised that's very narrow-minded of me, and we need to... And then I remembered that Justin Bateman was Teen Wolf 2, T-O-O. And I really like Justin Bateman.
Justin or Jason?
Jason
Bateman.
And his sister is Justine Bateman. And I conflated the two, imagining some sort of glorious hermaphroditic...
abomination.
No, not an abomination. I'm actually thinking it. His wit,
a glorious homage to each.
His sort of shrewdness, and her sort of bubbly effervescence.
Okay.
And isn't that interesting? Because she played Michael J. Fox's sister, Mallory, on Family Ties.
There you go.
So... who was sleeping with who when those Teen Wolf deals were going down? That's what I want to know. So, so there were those guys, Carl Urban and Lucy Lawless. Wasn't there was that other guy that's in Evil Dead, Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh,
the guy with the moustache.
Yeah, the little guy with the moustache.
Yeah, that little guy. That little attacker.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I didn't see him either.
Yeah.
I didn't even see him. Wasn't there a guy called Rainbow Sun Franks?
Yeah, he's from like Stargate or something. I didn't go and see him because I assumed it was like a My Little Pony.
I did too, yeah. I thought, this is a My Little Pony that's come down on a rainbow.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's going to be sparkle dust everywhere.
And you just won't be able to get it. Like, you wash your clothes and it'll just take weeks to get it out.
No, it's not easy. So there was that. There was some people from Once.
Yeah, a couple of people from Once Upon a Time.
With Prince Charming, was it?
No.
Oh, he cancelled.
No, he was never coming.
He was never coming?
No.
Okay.
I think he played no, I don't even know if he played Robin Hood. I can't remember. It was some guy.
Some.
So Ian fucking somebody.
They were
I don't know.
The baker and the candlestick maker.
It was the guy that turns into Pinocchio or something at some point. Anyway, you can tell that I haven't watched Once Upon a Time since the end of the first season.
Okay, so we weren't
rubbish.
We weren't very good with those then.
No,
we didn't know a lot about that. And one of their big draw cards, apparently, because this is someone who's been on a lot of the advertising and stuff, is Jim Beaver.
The Beeve.
The Beeve.
The Beeve.
Now, I was confused. I thought they had Justin Bieber. Mm-hmm. I was a little bit excited about that.
Well, he's a very big pop culture
He's an
icon.
Yeah, absolutely. Turns out that they didn't have Justin Bieber. They had Jim Beaver.
Who looks like his granddad.
Yeah, so who is Jim Beaver?
Jim Beaver plays, I don't know. I gave up on Supernatural after season 5 because it got garbage. Bobby Singer, who was like the guy who looked after the two main boys because their father didn't.
Okay.
Basically.
To me, he strikes me just looking at him that like maybe he is a guy that in the Supernatural universe works in the tackle shop.
Close, yeah.
Selling them bait or something like that.
Well, kind of. They come to him for advice and guns and things.
Yeah, so he's like this old guy.
Yep.
It was quite funny because he was on the back of buses and stuff, advertising the event, and it just looked like some dude. It looked like one of the attendees.
Yeah, it really wasn't working to sell the convention. Like, I don't think they was Lucy Lawless. Carl Urban was a very late addition.
Yeah.
I think they had Lucy Lawless for a little while. I mean, that's. You put Lucy Lawless on your poster, that's pretty great. But Jim Beaver was the initial kind of flagship guy that they were rallying behind. And it was like, oh, okay.
And I think they, like in announcements and stuff, they had to say it really quickly because they were thinking that maybe you would think that it was the Beeb. Mm. And it was just the Beeb.
The Beeb, yeah.
The Beeb. And, when people, of course, attendees get their photo taken with guests, and these photos go up on a big wall, and it's very confusing with the Beeb. Because you sort of looked and you thought that he was the convention goer and that he had paid to have his photo taken with a lot of
guests,
convention goers because he liked their costumes or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that was really confusing. I would actually rather see a real beaver. And I'm not being facetious, I'm being honest because I don't think I've ever seen...
I've never seen a real
beaver. So wouldn't you rather see that? Like if they just put it in a... Obviously, they can't build a dam, or they're not going to give a dam to Oz Comic Con to set up in the
because that would just be silly. Yeah.
So I would think maybe just put it in some sort of glass case or with holes in it, or even better, a cage, so that we could maybe poke at it through the bars.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Beeve did 2 panels. He did the Saturday and Sunday. And
2 panels. That sounds like a pretty short comic.
And I went to the first one, took a few photos, went, yep, great. He was in full Bobby Singer mode, wearing a t-shirt that said Egypt, which is one of his sort of catchphrases.
One of his catchphrases. Egypt.
Egypt. How funny.
He thinks those boys are idiots.
Yes, he does.
I bet he does.
Idiots.
Those demon hunting supernatural boys.
Wearing his jean jacket and a cap.
Yeah.
I hate fucking convention guests who turn up wearing caps. Because I cannot get decent fucking photos of them. Because all I get a photo of is just blackness.
Yeah.
On the front of their face. And it is so fucking annoying. You know the last person who did that? Adam Baldwin, and he's not a good person.
No, he's not a good person at all.
So
and that just goes to show.
That just fucking goes to show. Anyway.
You know, and you have the big camera. I take pictures just on my camera phone.
Yeah.
And,
actually, I didn't bring the big camera this year. I kind of, not traded down, but bought the smaller camera this year to see if it would work, because I didn't want to bring my backpack and all the big gear and stuff, and yeah, it was good. It was good. Olympus EM1, recommend.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Olympus, give me some free stuff.
So, yeah, Olympus are definitely listening.
Mm-hmm.
It's more likely that the gods of Mount Olympus are listening, to be honest.
Probably.
That Percy Jackson is listening.
I wonder if Elizabeth Hentridge still listens.
Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah, because we were best friends and everything.
Yeah.
And she was definitely going to listen to the show because she told us.
Yeah, she was a big fan.
Ah.
I don't even remember that. I kind of vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Well, no, because you told her the name of the podcast and she wrote it down wrong, so I went up to her and gave her a card just to fucking make sure.
Yeah.
And then she favorited our tweets about it.
Oh, so she's definitely
so she's definitely listened to it. Definitely best friends. We can definitely call her and bunk at her house when we're in LA.
She's lovely. I loved her.
Yeah, she was
great. Adorable.
Mm.
What I was going to say, it's going to lose its impact now because we've gone on a little bit of a journey. I was going to say that I use my camera phone, and if the guest is wearing a cap and the picture's a little bit blurry, they sometimes look like a duck.
Okay.
Because like it looks like a bill. Would have been
Damn.
really good 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, so there was that. There was the beaver. And I think that was kind of it for the guest. So, look, my instinct there initially going in is you sort of think, well, if things aren't bigger and better, if there's not this constant growth and evolution, if they're starting to shrink back a bit, then that's, probably not a good sign.
Though I guess, obviously, even though there weren't guests that we were perhaps super interested in, there would have been people
there were. I know what you mean, but
there's people still really into it. They had actually,
but they weren't drawing those big crowds.
No, they weren't. But they had quite the Stargate Atlantis people, and a lot of people really into that. So they're still appealing to
Carrie Fisher or Christopher Lloyd or
no, but I don't.
William
Supernova
Shatner
just seems to have. The jump on them as far as those sorts of guests go. I can't even remember the last huge Oz Comic Con guest. I mean, they got Benedict Cumberbatch, but he didn't come here. The biggest one I think that I got autograph from was maybe Billy Boyd.
That's not big.
It's not big, but that's the last one I can think of.
Where did Rose McGowan go to?
That was Supernova, I think. What was Billie Piper?
Billie Piper was Comic-Con.
Okay. I didn't get her autograph.
I did.
Yeah.
Had a story about that.
Yeah, you did.
So there was that. But then, what I want to say is I think that, perhaps they weren't working harder this year, but I feel like in a way they were working smarter. I think they did very well with what they had. And there were a few little details in there which I thought were quite good.
Yes.
Just simple things which sound dumb, but they really enhance your experience. They put 4 ATMs inside the convention floor.
Yes.
So you could get to one queuing maybe 2 minutes. Perfect.
Yeah, because before they had one machine outside in the foyer and the line would just be crazy.
And walking around the convention forever all day sucks. So people usually go to the sides and sit down on the floor next to the walls, and occasionally they'll say you can't sit here, etc. They brought in chairs. There were rows of chairs along the walls where people go and sit all the time.
Yeah, and just random, when there was just kind of random spaces, they're like, let's just stick a whole bunch of chairs in here.
And they had a beanbag-filled little place for people to read manga. And they had a little anime screening thing, and they had they always have a board game section and a video game section. Toys R Us had a little stall this year, and they had a play area
family section,
for little kids. So there were a lot more things that you could kind of do that with. And they had a lot of small stages which were very accessible. It was very clear they weren't boarded off. So what I'm thinking is the one where the people, the cosplay guests and stuff, did their talk, and the 501st. And normally you're not even aware of these things happening, but the fact that you could walk past and hear some of it.
Yeah,
and see
it was getting a lot of traffic, that one, because it was right next to an exit, so people were kind of going to go out to the toilet or go out to whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, what's this?" and stop and listen to it.
So it was a lot more hands-on in that way. I think people were able to maybe engage in more of a variety of experiences. So I thought that was good. I thought the vibe was quite good. I am getting to that sort of old man point where, you know, I don't get the same thrill out of the whole thing.
Yeah, I for the last couple of years, convention Saturdays, I hate them. Like, I go because I kind of, in some sick way, do enjoy it, but you get there. I enjoy that first kind of 15 minutes because we get in quite early. It's a fairly empty kind of con floor, and you're just kind of wandering around, looking at stuff, grabbing your tokens, whatever. About halfway through the morning, it is so packed and you can't move and it's hard to get anywhere, and it is just the worst thing. And I barely took any photos or did anything yesterday because I just couldn't deal with being there.
So, however, all this said, like, I think the beauty of these things is you kind of find your own adventure. You find the thing that is going to be what you remember about that con and what is interesting to you. And in the past, there's been cons where it was meeting Carrie Fisher, for example.
Yep.
That was huge for me. Or we always talk about when Christopher Lloyd signed the DeLoreans, things like that. But, you know, those are the memorable things. And it didn't look like there was going to be that thing for me this particular con until, you know, yesterday morning we rock up and they've got a new addition as well, something that hasn't been there before.
Yes.
They have a tattoo booth.
Yes, run by an existing shop here in Perth. They just had their own booth, and they had a whole bunch of flash pages set up, various kind of nerdy kind of logos and art and that sort of stuff, and for a nominal fee you could get some artwork tattooed on your body forever.
Yes, so very interesting. People were reacting in a quite interesting way.
And they were going, "That's not real."
They're going, "They get real tattoos here? What?" And everyone was gawking, is anybody going to do it? And one of the artists there, she had a page of her work, which were all these chibi, sort of super deformed versions of pop culture characters, a lot of superheroes. There was a Gambit and a Wolverine and a Beast and some X-Men. And I really liked those. And I have always kind of wanted a tattoo. But I've been absolutely terrified.
Yes, because pretty much everybody you know has tattoos.
Yeah. Everybody does. And I photograph a ton of people that have tattoos. So I've always kind of wanted one, not as something really for the rest of the world, but just for me. You know, I'm not talking about something that I'm showing off all the time or anything. But I've had a lot of anxiety issues in the past, and been very nervous about medical things, hate needles, and just always been terrified of it. Never thought that I would have the courage to do it, and there was just something about that feeling of, I could do this right now. It was really reasonably priced. There was a piece of art there that I thought was really cool, and it was like, oh shit, do I have the courage to actually do this right now? And I was nervous as all shit. I was shaking.
I fucking walked back and you were like signing the form, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening here?
Yeah, well, she was like, do you want to go away for an hour and then like maybe we can come and do it then? And I was like, we need to do this right now if we're going to do it. It was also complicated because I was going to a wedding in the afternoon. So I was wearing a suit, and that was quite fun because I didn't want to sit in this booth without my shirt. I didn't want to subject anybody to that. So I was thinking, like, what am I going to do? And I was very close to cutting a sleeve off. And I thought, if we cut the sleeve off, won't it be a thrill at the wedding to know that under my suit jacket I'm missing a sleeve and nobody else knows? I thought that would be so much fun. Plus, the wedding, which was lovely, by the way. Not a bad thing to say about the wedding. I really enjoyed it. But what I was going to say is, again, it was that unknowing thing. It's a quite Catholic-y wedding. And I'm thinking, how am I going to cope with that? And then I thought, if I sit through a tattoo, the wedding's going to be a piece of piss. Like, it won't be the most painful thing that I do. on that particular day.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have sat through a Catholic wedding service before.
Yeah.
I absolutely sympathise.
No, it was really interesting actually. But she talked me through it. She was amazing. I said, look, is this silly to get for my first time? Like, is it going to be too painful? How long is it going to take? Said it's probably going to take about an hour. Mm-hmm. You were very kind. You stuck around until I got started and felt comfortable. So I really did not know what to expect because my fear has always been like, this is funny. I'm talking about this like a conqueror. I'm talking about it like I have just conquered some uncharted territory
that nobody has ever done before.
This would be like me, not just like getting to the summit of the mountain and seeing other people there, but there's like a suburban village and everybody's just really chill. Like everybody's done this, but it was big for me. Anyway, like she did it. It really wasn't bad. I dealt with it fine.
As I have said to you and many people many times, if tattoos hurt that bad, nobody would have them.
That's true. It's about what? How big do you reckon it is?
I would say about
3 inches.
Yeah, 3 to 4 inches.
Let me just
measure it against the 3.7.
A 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figure.
It is almost exactly the same size. Maybe 4 inches. Yeah.
Yeah. It's full color.
Full color.
It is and it is. Not a tough tattoo. It's on my right arm.
It is the least manly tattoo you could get, but it is a very
I don't think
tattoo.
It's the least manly. Now look,
I don't. It's pretty borderline.
No, come on. It's on a pony.
It's not far off a pony, mate.
No, it's fine. Look, if there was art there for Black Widow or Rey, that's where I would have gone. I'm hoping maybe in the future we can get them in the near future even get them added to this and get a bit of a like badass half sleeve going of these baby people. But yes, I have Jubilee of the X-Men. So
it's almost like a little Cupid doll. Like it's not quite chibi. It's more Cupid.
Yeah, but it's very like old school tattoo looking.
Yeah.
It's Jubilee in a little yellow raincoat and a pink boots and a pink visor, little sparks coming out. She's an X-Man from the 90s. Right when I started reading Marvel, in the early 90s, I was reading X-Men. I liked Jubilee. She was Wolverine's sidekick a lot of the time. I think that in the movies, Rogue kind of took her role to an extent.
Yeah.
And, very bright character.
Garish.
Yeah, silly character. She was a big part of the cartoon as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
And her power is, just in case you're thinking the Jubilee, the X-Man isn't lame enough, she sort of like, shoots fireworks out of her fingers, pretty much.
She's a sparkle fairy.
She's a little sparkle fairy. I never thought of it like a sparkle fairy. I wouldn't say she's a sparkle. She is an X-Man, right?
Oh, yeah, but a lot of people
That's better than being like, or at least like an X-Man. That's pretty cool. It's X-manly.
Yes.
So, I have Jubilee on my... I just couldn't resist the idea of like, it's like, what are you going to get tattooed on you? And it's like, I'm going to get a little baby Jubilee on my arm. And it's a bit lower down than I thought. I was thinking no one's going to see this thing. But when I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, her boots are definitely popping out.
And it's definitely the sort of thing that people would ask about because they'd see little pink booties and they'd be like, what is your tattoo of?
And I'd be like, it's Jubilee of the X-Men. And they're going to be like, what are you talking about? Like, what is a Jubilee of the X-Men? Well, it's okay. I mean, Wolverine's... Wolverine? Everyone knows Wolverine.
Yeah,
and they'll go,
a bit like that.
They'll go, Wolverine's badass. He's awesome. And I'm like, we know how Batman has Robin. Or Wolverine has Jubilee in the comics. That's canon.
Yeah. Wow, it must be totally badass. How are you showing me? And they go, oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's to, think about that juxtaposition. Think about the rugged, manly Wolverine.
Yes.
He's feral. He's an animal. He's got a musk. He's of just pheromones,
Yep.
he penetrates things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like you're thinking we've got to soften this, we've got to balance this out. You need a juxtaposition, just like Batman's dark and brooding, and then he has the colourful Robin to sort of be a counterpoint. You've got that Jubilee. So Wolverine has to journey around with Jubilee to kind of tame the savage beast.
Okay.
I've been compared to Wolverine a lot in my personality, so it makes sense that I would have to have a little Jubilee just to take the edge off a little bit. So this is... Oh my god, I've just justified this tattoo. I feel like I'm going to be telling this story a lot in the future.
Yep.
So that's my little sidekick to tame this savage beast. Just in case, like, you know... I'm at the canteen at work, and I'm like, have you got any hummus dip? And they're like, no, not today. And then it's like, well, am I going to berserker rage, or am I going to look at Jubilee and just have a little smile on my face and go, that's all right, I'll have a muffin instead.
Okay.
Yeah. A manly muffin. Give me one of those bolts and nails muffins.
I had planned on getting one as well, but it was not going to be a baby X-Man, and I decided at the end of the day just to save my money, because I can get a tattoo another day.
This was a really... she really did me a deal. It was awesome.
Yeah,
she was excellent. And I definitely would like to pay her full price for some more work in the future.
Yeah. So that was a thing.
That was my adventure.
That sure was a thing.
And I just one little side note to that. When I messaged Suzanne to say that I'd done it, and she was like, lies. I messaged my mum, because everyone in my family's got at least a little tattoo, except for me, because I'm a big pussy.
Yeah. And
I was like, I got a tattoo, and I was like, oh really? What did you get and stuff? And I was like, oh, I can't tell you yet. You need to see the picture. Because as what the listeners are discovering on this podcast, when you say I got a tattoo of Jubilee the X-Man, people are like, what? And I said, yeah, I'm at Comic-Con. I got it done at Comic-Con. And she's like, oh, okay, so you got a fake tattoo. And I'm like, no, it's a real tattoo. And I said, no one believed me.
Well, they had good reason to not believe you.
See, I am a truth teller. We talk about that all the time on here. Obviously, they thought that I was an unreliable narrator of my own life story, which was tricky. So I really ended up having to get the pictures out. And so Suzanne finally sort of believed me. She couldn't see it because it was all wrapped up. It was glad wrapped and taped up, and I was at the wedding where I met Suzanne at the wedding, and it was under my shirt and my suit, so she couldn't see it. And she's going, well, what is it? Is it like a Star Wars thing? Is it Black Widow? And I was like, no, it's more 90s. I didn't think for a second she would get it, and she goes just straight away, did you get Jubilee tattooed on your body? And I was like, yes, I did. She was like, what? So yeah, and then I had to show her the picture on my phone. So yeah, but look, I'm turning 40 in a few months. I think why not?
If it's time for a midlife crisis, 40 is the time.
Yeah, why not have a little beacon of hope on my arm to guide me into the darkness.
Yeah.
Light up my journey into the next 40 years.
I think you're gonna be
with fireworks.
Slightly less enthusiastic about your big manly half sleeve after you go through all the healing process with that one.
Do you reckon? I'm handling it pretty well.
It's day 2.
Yeah, well...
Wait till it starts to peel.
I might find that very appealing. So there, that's my story. That was the highlight of Comic-Con for me. Did you have a highlight?
Kind of. I got instead of spending $100 on the tattoo that I was going to get, I spent $100 on Carl Urban autographs because they were $50 each. $50! Carl Urban, why? And I got him to sign this really cool Jason Palmer print. Jason Palmer's stuff is really amazing. Look him up if you haven't seen his stuff already. I got him to sign that. It was of his character in Almost Human, and I got him to sign a copy of the Almost Human DVD, which was great. And, that's fantastic. But this is my Carl Urban three-peat, and the excitement of meeting Carl Urban is not as exciting as it was the first time.
No, well, he used to just wander around Supernova, didn't he?
He did.
He'd just walk from, like, the one stage to the other.
The first one I went to, I literally bumped into him in a stall. I turned around, and there he was, and I ran away. So that was cool. I bought...
what do you think he's going to spend that money on? Fish and chops?
Fish and chops.
Probably.
Gonna go and buy a chili bun. Put his fish and chops in.
Gonna go back to New Zealand and go, give me $100 of fish and chops, please, courtesy of Jacinta.
No, the other thing,
It's a lot of chips, Carl. Your eyes aren't bigger than your belly again, are they, Carl?
Eyes aren't bugger than your billy.
Your eyes aren't bigger than your belly, are they, Carl? Look, he made fun of our accents. Like, he got up on stage and he was like,
good day, mate.
Good day, come on, here's you going.
Yeah, good on him. But anyway, I didn't buy that much stuff because I was like, there's a lot of hot toys coming up that I want, so I'm a little bit conscious of spending money on shit that I don't really need. However, I did see a Gentle Giant statue, a little Han Solo bust that was far more expensive than I wanted to pay for it. However, I went, you know what? If I'm going to buy a dumb thing at Comic-Con, let it be this wonderful little Han Solo bust.
Got to go high end.
Yeah, and it's great. I haven't actually taken it out of the box yet, but it's a lovely little, it's like the Heroes of Yavin 4 or something. It's from, like, kind of the scene at the end of the movie. They've all got their medals, and he's got a very smug sort of look on his face. He's got his arms crossed.
He looks chuffed.
He looks absolutely chuffed with himself.
He looks like that medal is full of delicious chocolate.
Absolutely.
Which is actually very hard to come by in the Star Wars universe. And I do believe that... I'm just sorry, I'm sidetracked. I was looking for that tie everywhere yesterday and had no idea where it is. And it is on the cardboard cutout of Amy Pond right in front of me.
Right, there you go.
Fuck you, tie. Probably a good thing I didn't find it, actually. Some very fancily dressed individuals last night. Chocolate.
Chocolate?
I believe that is what he was smuggling when he had that whole problem with Jabba the Hutt.
It wouldn't have been called chocolate, though, would it? Would have been called something weird.
It was called space chocolate.
Okay, space chocolate, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I finished it, sorry. You can continue.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't really buy that much stuff. Just the Carl Urban stuff. I bought from Jason Palmer. I bought a Peggy Carter print as well, which was very, very pretty. And just kind of some blind box Batman vs Superman stuff, and that's kind of it.
Yeah,
really.
I got a couple of those. I bought a Russian pilot helmet.
Yeah, you did.
So cool. That's going to be like my podcast helmet.
Okay.
My performance helmet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I really like it. I'm going to put a picture of me wearing it up online so that everybody can enjoy it as much as I am. And I got some things to build. I got a model kit. Is that Japanese model kit?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, Japanese model kit of R2-D2 and BB-8, which all snaps together. It wasn't expensive for what it is and what appealed to me. And I like putting stuff like that together sometimes. But what appealed to me was it's the only BB-8 I've seen which you've got the option of giving him the thumbs-up lighter attachment.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So I thought that was good. And I got a big... McFarlane Toys, who did all the Spawn figures and really were the ones that back in the day brought sort of toys to collectors and started doing real likenesses and things. They've sort of trying out construction sets where they're recreating scenes and sets from Walking Dead and from Game of Thrones and with the little people. And what appeals to me about them is they're really quite big sets by the look of it. Like, you know, there's a lot of detail there. And I bought one of the Iron Throne room with Joffrey on there. And I haven't, of course, had time to assemble it. I don't know what it's going to look like and whether it's going to be a piece of shit or whatever. But I thought it'd be an interesting thing to sort of... put together and see what it looks like.
I hadn't seen one of those out in the wild before, so that was
and it was
cool.
a fair enough price, so I thought, why not?
Yes.
Something to do. That's what you
Yes.
want. Something to keep you busy on
To-
a rainy day.
Yeah.
It's a rainy day. Why don't you go out and play outside? I can't because it's raining. Well, why don't you build that bloody Iron Throne room?
I bloody will then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
a conversation that will be heard in my house in the future.
We dodged a bullet. There was one particular item that we'd said all weekend, if it's still there at the end of the weekend.
We were kind of playing chicken with each other, weren't we?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was a box of
A full sealed box.
full sealed box of Bill and Ted trading cards.
Yeah.
36 packs, 10 cards a
cards a
pack,
pack.
360 Bill and Ted
That's
cards.
a lot of Bill and Ted cards.
It was $35. So
which is reasonable.
yeah, less
you
than
know.
$1 a pack.
Yes.
And you said, you laid down the rules, the gambit. You said if it's still there at the end, if it hasn't sold at the end of Sunday, we'll split it. And I said, well, you realise, of course it's going to be there at the end of Sunday. Nobody's going to buy this thing.
Yeah.
So then we kept walking past and looking for it.
And they kept moving it, and we
They-
kept thinking that maybe they'd sold it, and we were like, oh no!
Yeah. And then we were like, oh, it hasn't sold yet, but it's definitely going to sell any minute now. Someone's going to go, oh, that's exactly what I need. And it got really down to the wire, didn't it? And
The last 5 minutes we were standing in front of it
I
going...
even picked it up and was looking at it, and then you...
In the final moment,
Cooler heads
sanity prevailed.
yeah.
And we decided that 360 Bill and Ted cards were inevitably just going to end up in a trading card box with all the rest of our shit that we don't actually look at.
Yeah, what would we do with them?
Yeah.
We could send them to our listeners.
We could.
Piecemeal.
Could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could sign them.
Yeah, totally bodacious.
Yeah. Thanks for being a totally bodacious listener. See you in the future, or it's past your bedtime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Missed opportunity. We could open them out on the live and
all
and
360
all
of them.
360 and
Yeah.
read out the crazy titles of each card.
Oh, and the descriptions on the back of them.
Yeah. Yeah. They were Bill and Ted cards, so it'd probably be like really funny things like, ha ha, I'm no homo, and all the other stuff that they said. Hey, Ted, you faggot. That's a line from the film, isn't it? Those films, seriously, I'm saying this to draw your attention to the fact that they're really homophobic films. They're quite offensive if you go back and look at them now. So, and people forget that because they just remember the fun but there's some there's some hate speech in there. So, I guess maybe that's a good thing that we didn't continue the legacy.
Absolutely.
Because-
Or were we putting a stop to it?
Yeah.
You know?
Because it could fall into the wrong hands.
Absolutely.
We actually, like, you might think, oh, you guys sort of, you didn't follow through with what you said you were going to do. But really, we got to the point, didn't we, where we, they were all right there in front of us, but we were saying, yeah, but they sold all right. I think they've gone. Someone bought them. Oh, well.
Let's just pretend that we never saw them.
walk away
And
quietly.
we're gonna walk away, yeah. And then I bought a pair of Avengers socks, and then that was it.
Avengers socks.
Yes.
So, I guess, I mean, that's most of what I wanted to talk about. I think the only other thing I'll say is I'm always interested in the cosplay in the sense of what are the trends. I feel like that's a segment we should always have when we're talking about a con, because what people are dressed as really reflects the zeitgeist at the moment. You really can tell what's hitting hard, what's popular, what's not, and there was certainly two huge front runners in terms of just amount. And interestingly, one Marvel and one DC.
Yeah, so obviously...
top male costume.
Deadpool
by far, yeah.
Though, that said, I think, I don't know, maybe I just had, better luck or whatever. I don't think there was as many Deadpools there this year as there has been in previous years.
Yeah, and I didn't know, to be honest, if I was seeing the same Deadpool
one all the time
again and again, or not. But so there was that. But girls, it was definitely Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and the Margot Robbie version.
Yeah, a lot of Margot...
There was a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, very much people taking to that. So there were a ton of those. A lot of bums hanging out.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was a girl that I thought I could only see her from behind. She looked very young, and I thought the guy that she was with was like her dad. But then, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's a lot of bum cheek for Not that girls can do absolutely what they want. It's their body.
It's your bum.
Absolutely, it is your bum. But I was like, "Oh, a bit breezy there." But no. So that was really cool. The other course, there was lots of Rays.
There were, and a lot of kids, a lot of little kids being Ray, and I think that was really awesome.
Which is cool. I mean, the Ray costume's pretty accessible. Like, you can buy it at Big W, off the shelf kind of thing. So that was cool.
I even saw like a girl that, a woman I should say, who wasn't wearing the Rey costume, but was wearing like a Star Wars shirt, I think, or like black milk Star Wars leggings or whatever, but had her hair styled with the 3 things at the back, just like Rey. So that was kind of cool. And the costume that I did not expect to see was I saw at least 3 or 4 Judy Hopps from Zootopia, and actually really kind of effective. Got a really cool little costume, wearing the like police stuff, and then with the rabbit ears and a grey wig and the tail. Yeah. I think the first pair we saw, I saw one Nick Wilde and a couple of Judy Hopps. And I mean, your first reaction when you see that is, oh, fucking furries. But the costumes did look good. No, the girls look great, as Judy. I thought that was really cool. So that was kind of fun. Saw 2 Negasonic Teenage Warheads. Both were awesome.
My favourites... for the weekend, there was one Nightmare Batman that I saw.
Yeah, that was awesome.
He was really cool.
He was on finger on the pulse.
Yes,
that guy.
Absolutely. And there was actually in the cosplay competition, there was a guy as Kylo Ren. I think you might have missed that one.
No, I saw that. The guy that won.
Did he win? Yeah, I think he won because he'd made his costume completely from scratch, and he started making it before the movie came out. So he made his helmet just from the trailer and promotional images and stuff like that. So that was really cool.
So there were Reys and Kylos, but no one else really from The Force Awakens.
Which was interesting.
No fins, no pose.
I guess maybe because if the jacket had been really mass marketed, then sure, you would expect a lot more.
I think someone would have made that jacket. I mean, even straight after Guardians hit, everybody was wearing the Star-Lord jacket. I would have thought we would have seen, the Poe Finn jacket, but we did not, or I did not.
Or even the Poe jumpsuit. Like, that's the same jumpsuit that's been going around for forever.
And get some styling Oscar Isaac's hair happening.
Oh.
Guaranteed.
You could make like a
lady
little,
killer.
Yeah, you could make not even like a wig, but like a little, like a warbler helmet.
Yes.
With just the flicky, wonderful, flowing hair just kind of carved into the warbler. Fantastic.
Yeah. Mesmerising.
I actually really liked...
What a hypnotising dome that would be.
I saw 2 Kung Furies. One was in the cosplay competition and one I just saw wandering around. That was very cool. Who else? Like Deadpool cosplay is the guy that always does like Iron Man, Wolverine, Deadpool. He was really good as always. It's pretty unexpected to come up to a convention and find Julian not in a very, very cool suit. And
my friend, Lady Jaded, who was there as an official guest, she had brilliant costumes all weekend. I particularly love today her Jareth the Goblin King with her brand new baby all tobied up. So that was excellent. And then was like a wonderful Wonder Woman later in the day. Perfect. Like, how do you do that? Like, wasn't enough to be the Goblin King? You're going to be Wonder Woman as well?
Yeah.
And you just had a baby and you can be like still an awesome Wonder Woman.
Crazy.
Pop that baby out, back in shape, in seconds.
Bang.
Done.
It's so easy. Why doesn't everybody do it?
Hey, Nightmare Batman. The Nightmare would be having to watch a dumb movie again, you shithead. Was that happening?
Not that I noticed, no.
There's a lot of Batman, Superman stuff at the con.
Yeah, there was actually. There was a stall called like Fan Emblems or something that had all like these chrome, superhero logos and stuff, sort of thing you'd probably like put on your car or whatever. And they had a big wall of like Batman v Superman stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, you're brave." But I kept walking past it and going, maybe I could just buy Batfleck. I could just buy Batfleck right now. I didn't because I spent all my money on fucking Carl Urban autographs.
A lot of fish and chips, Carl. A lot of fish and chips.
God damn. But yeah, the cosplay competitions were pretty cool. They had the parade on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday it was the kids cosplay competition, which again, like, Oz Comic Con is really into like family kind of environment, and having the kids cosplay comp was really fun, and some of those kids were very fucking cute. And then they had
fucking cute kids. You heard it here.
Yes. And then the like national cosplay championships were this afternoon.
That's the high end.
They're the really high end stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was very, very cool. And the winner, worthy winner, like Atomic Kerry or something like that. So she'll go off to the national comps in Sydney or wherever. And
do us proud.
Yeah, and then the Australian entrant will go off to Chicago or somewhere to compete in the Worlds.
And the host's like, don't underestimate Perth. People always underestimate Perth. Well, look, they're not going to underestimate Perth again. I was like, I didn't underestimate Perth. Now you put the idea in my head and I'm paranoid.
Exactly. And they showed us the World Cosplay Competition from earlier this year.
C2E2 from March, just about a month ago.
Yeah, and, we had our representative, and there were representatives from all over, like, Asia and America and Europe, and guess who fucking won?
Yeah, Australia won.
Australia fucking won!
Australia, mate!
We're the best at cosplay and, like, the sports and shit.
Fair dinkum, we're the best at cosin those plays, mate.
Sure are, mate.
She had, she was dressed as like something that I
like a necromancer-y sort of thing.
It's a beautiful dress, and she had kitten skeletons on her shoulders.
Yes, she did, and all like little mini, probably the skulls of children.
Yeah,
as like a neck kind of frill thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was very, very.
That was
an amazing
Major
one.
Sam cosplay, I believe.
Yes, Major Sam cosplay.
Yeah, she was awesome. And look, she bloody took the gold.
Oh, bloody just little Aussie battler.
Did it for, little Aussie battler, bloody just working away in the trenches, like bloody out there in Wolf Creek, getting all those bones, waiting for the flesh to dissolve.
Yep. Just getting that big old tub full of acid. Just waiting for all the flesh to come off.
Put it all together, and she was beautiful.
She was, yes.
So, that's excellent. All right, well, look, I've had enough.
I have also had my fill of Oz Comic.
And I've got to edit this thing.
Yep.
And we got to go have a beer.
We are, yes. We're about to, if your mind goes back to this time last year, and I think we did a bit of a drunk podcast after we had been to the Oz Comic Con after party. This year we're being sensible grown-ups, and we are recording first and then going to the Oz Comic Con after party.
Because last time when we went to the thing, remember we walked in, and Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger was sitting there.
He was, yes.
And I didn't sleep for a week.
Or how could you?
Well, I was too frightened.
Exactly.
Because I kept...
come for you, because there's not even like...
two.
Because there's not even like Freddy is now and kind of a Freddy's concept. Like, he's fucking sitting right there in the chair.
He was there, and I was like, oh, I'm dreaming. Pinching. I'm getting pinched all over the place.
Yeah.
Cheeky pinch, and still there. 1, 2... Is that?
Oh my God!
Did your
look what
bloody
happened. Siri just bloody woke up, and look at it. Oh, it's a...
Okay, this is
this is what Siri thought.
This is Siri's transcript. Are you busy with being sensible grown up and we are recording first and then going to be out because last time, and why I didn't sleep well last exactly because I come for you even like Freddy's now and coming of the concept of you fucking sitting right there on the chair and I was like, I'm dreaming of a place yet That's pretty much what we said. It probably makes about as much sense as what we actually said.
Just about. Damn, Siri.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Yeah.
3, 4, Freddy's rapping at the door with his claws.
Yep.
5, 6, get a crucifix. 7, 8, I know this, better stay out late.
Okay.
9, 10, a big fat hen. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
no,
much...
it's not. No, I've got to do proper plugs.
Okay.
So, thanks for listening, everybody. I just wanted to put out there for Perth people, on this coming Friday, which will be, March the 9th, I think? There's something like that.
Yeah,
but it's the Friday night in the Northridge Piazza. There is a Comics Jam night. It's an event set up by a good friend, my favourite Perth artist, Campbell White. There's going to be all sorts of cool stuff. It's for adults. It's a drinking thing. It's a comics thing. It's at night. It's like making everything accessible. There'll be performance there. There'll be some live comic readings. And I am going to be one of the performers. So if you're in Perth and you listen to the show, whether we know you or not, and you want to come along and see me give an impassioned reading of Bunnies That Hate and the Curse of the Cock Goblin, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read that comic, which is about Garfield and a cock goblin and a dolphin, and I think Scarlett Johansson's in it, and probably Admiral Akbar, and it's a lot of fun. It's a comic that I did in 24 hours, and I think it's gonna offend people, but I want to take them on that journey. So yeah, come and see that. Come and support. There'll be a lot of other really great stuff, and I'll be like the lowbrow part of the evening. So yeah, come and check that out. I haven't prepared nothing, but that's my job tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for listening to the show. If you're a new listener, if you've happened to have found us from Comic-Con or something like that, then yes, we are Fruitless Pursuits. You can go to fruitlesspursuits.com to find out all of our stuff. We do this show every week. Normally we're doing pop culture news and movie reviews, which we'll get back. Have we got a big movie next week? Jungle Book or something?
I think it might be Jungle Book.
Might be the Jungle Book. Might be. There'll be something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think the Jungle Book and the Huntsman are coming out next week.
Okay. Well, not the Huntsman Spider, I hope. Shit. Croggy.
Even if it is a bloody Huntsman Spider, we've got an Australian on the bloody case.
Huntsman on the dunny. Get him, Himsy. So that'll be happening. And the other podcast we do is the Book Was Better podcast. That's my podcast where I read a novelization of a film. It's up 160 odd episodes, so there's a new episode tomorrow, and a different guest each time, but you are the guest tomorrow. Very lucky we recorded this thing a week ago. Because,
yeah, we're like, well, we've got a spare couple of days.
Yeah.
What do we do? Let's just record a Book Was Better, and now we're like, fuck recording it this weekend.
So grateful. And there's a theme to all the ones that you guest on.
We do tend to have a similar theme running through our episodes. Though, you posted... What was that one that you posted on the group the other week that I had absolutely no memory of doing? Like Dragonheart or something?
Yeah, Dragonheart.
I have no memory of doing that.
I don't know either, but that's what happens when you've done 160 of the fucking things. So, yeah, you and I did... Do you want to say?
Sure, we did... Not just The Rescuers. We did The Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah, so... Bang! Wow. Let's see how my blood pressure goes with that one. So, Rescuers Down Under, that'll be tomorrow. You can also find links to our Facebook page. Please give us a like. There'll be photos of people in costume and stuff going up as well.
Yeah. Over
the next few days. So, check that out. Do just support us. Go to Patreon, like and love us, and do all that stuff. There you go. That's very professional.
Yeah.
As I said, very media savvy.
Absolutely. And we'll be back to normal programming as of next week. If you found this episode not very interesting because you weren't at Comic-Con.
I think it was pretty good. I think that just, like that Pulp Fiction pig personality goes a long way. You know when Jules and Vern, they find the pig?
Yes.
And they, like, drive around in the car, and they're, like, they keep trying to get hamburgers from fast food places, and the pig keeps leaning from the back seat in between them and, like, trying to eat Jules's fries. And, like, they just get really irritated with that pig. I love that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, can you tell that we really have lost... we have lost the fucking will to live.
All right, let's go.
We're going to go and have drinks. We will see you next week.
Bye.